Okay.
I was hoping you would say
morning.
stereotypes because maybe it'd be something really interesting. I always try to connect it to not beyond the Arab, beyond the stereotypes of Arabs and Muslims, but to kind of like stereotypes in general.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. I'm back. I'm still at the Arab American National Museum. I hope I have the name right. And I'm here with
Carla,
who is an employee.
Yes.
I don't know if we'll have enough light, but you'll be able to hear us talk a little bit about stereotypes. There are several exhibits here at the museum. There's one on religion. There's one about the origin story.
Yes, the immigration story.
Immigration
and making an impact, so that how Arab Americans have played a role in society.
Oh, that would be a good one too.
And this exhibit that we're at right now, we're going to talk about stereotypes, but there's also a lot of cultural pieces here in this specific exhibit.
The lighting is terrible.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay, it's my fault.
Okay, so brief synopsis. So this is a wall. So there was a study conducted by Jack Shaheen, and he wanted to evaluate Arab films made by Hollywood, and this is pre-9/11. So he looked at 1,000 films and saw how Arabs were represented, negative, positive, or neutral.
Wow.
So usually when we go through a tour and we kind of go into depth, we kind of ask people, well, what do you see here? What are some common themes that you see, on these walls? And a lot of times people name, that
the genie. I see the genie.
Villains, their faces, darkness, weapons, violence.
I see the weapons.
Things like that, right? A lot of times, for some reason, everyone recognizes Aladdin. So sometimes we go into a lot of depth. Well, is Aladdin representing, positive, negative, or neutral image?
Yes.
And what about the characters in Aladdin? What about Jasmine? And what about Jafar? And we kind of like break that down, into this idea of like stereotypes and how Arab Americans have been stereotyped, through Hollywood films.
All right. Stereotypes and films. We know about that.
Yes. And then we draw their attention to this wall, which is media, right? So this is how Arab Americans and Arabs are represented on the media, right? So we think of terrorist attacks and, wars going on in, the Arab world, or mug shots because we think that all Arabs are evil, or how women are oppressed because they're all dressed up, and just disregarding the cultural piece or the religious piece, right? So then we ask them, well, is this a reality, right? So is this what's really going on? This is what you see on CNN and Fox News and CBS and those mainstream media, how much of it is true?
How much of it is true? That's right.
And of course, the media tries to portray a very large percentage, right? But in actuality, it's a small percentage.
That's right.
Right.
Okay.
And I like to kind of like add to that, and sometimes I try to bring it home, like, well, what do people see on the news about Detroit, right? Or what do people think about Latino Americans or African Americans, right? So
I told y'all when I worked on the Q line, the guys like, I don't know any educated black people. Black people don't like to get an education. Exactly. And then people on the Q line were like, Detroit is so nice.
Right.
Stereotypes.
So once
propaganda.
I bring something that bring it to home, then they really start thinking it. And the whole idea of these two walls is to challenge people's perspectives on, the Arabs, like stereotypes, but of course bringing it, generally, stereotyping in general. Just to kind of go back to this wall, out of these 1,000 films, 50 represent the Arabs as neutral.
Okay. Out of 1,050 represent Arabs as neutral.
Yeah. 12 are positive.
12 are positive.
Over 900 of them negative images.
Wow.
And this is pre-9/11.
This is before 9/11. Exactly. Right. So we know that those have shifted dramatically.
Exactly. And coming back to this wall again, the realities, of everyday life that happen in this world is something that you would represent over here, right? So an ordinary family, happy, colorful, going to school, instruments, music, parties, the kind of life that,
most people live, most normal people, right?
Exactly.
Whatever culture or religion or whatever they're from, most people are people.
Right.
All right, exactly. That was good. Okay, and then this is this the everyday people?
Yeah, this is kind of like what Arabs really want to, what they want to be represented as society, the reality. This is the 98% versus the 2% versus, you know, just Hollywood films and, you know, their exaggerated ideas of what they think Arabs are.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, so we talked a little bit about stereotypes. As we're walking down.
We see this wall right here, so this also kind of a little bit about stereotypes, just representing this idea of patriotism. So Arab Americans have fought in every American war as far back as the Revolutionary War and on both sides of the Civil War.
Wow.
So also, you know, showing how they are just as patriotic as any average American. You know,
that's right. People are just human beings.
Yeah.
So, of course, you know, when you're watching this, the lighting is terrible. But when you're in the Detroit area, we're in Dearborn, which I consider a suburb of Detroit. But I had always heard that Dearborn had the largest population of Arab Americans outside of the Middle East. But I read the other day that New York actually has the largest population. But I wasn't
actually the largest population. The state with the largest population is California.
Okay.
Of Arabs.
Okay.
The largest concentration is in Metro Detroit area.
All right. Does New York even fit in there?
Not
that we
really.
know of. Yeah, I was surprised to see that about New York.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a whole museum, and of course the quality of what you saw is going to be, you know, piss poor because we're just vlogging and walking around. But when you get into town or in the area, please stop by and visit. The museum is open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's not open Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
And what are the hours on Wednesday?
The hours on Wednesday are from 10 to 6.
Okay, and then
every other day 10 to 6, except for on the weekends, I think it's from 11 to 5.
And is there a website?
There is, I think it's Arab American National Museum.org. And if not, you can find it on accesscommunity.org. That's our kind of like umbrella affiliate.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Carla. Look, she has a name tag, so she's like official and everything. But thank you for having us. It's my first time in this beautiful space. I did enjoy it. Come see it. I'm going to come see the real exhibit. Talk to you soon. Be you, be fabulous, you.